Hello. So I'll do this. I thought I'd do this video in 3 sections. The first section, I'm just going to do some examples of modulations to the dominant or subdominant, just one-off examples. And I'm pretty sure you've tried this already. I think I remember you saying you've done this with one of the apps or websites that you've been using. But something that can sometimes help, if you when you hear the extract begin for the modulations, if you're able to sort of orally identify the tone of the tonic and hum that to yourself whilst the rest of the extract is playing, that can act as a very useful litmus test for differentiating between modulations to the dominant and the subdominant. I don't think the relative minor ones or relative major or minor ones can cause you any problem at all, but as discussed, it's being able to sort of pick up on the difference between the subdominant and dominant. So just as a sort of live demonstration of that, and you're going to have to put up with my awful singing for this, so apologies in advance. But let's say, for example, I start here. I want to try and sort of pick out the tone of, that being the tonic chord, and they will generally start with the tonic chord. However, a chord or two in, you'll usually be able to hear for absolute certain where the tonic is. So you want to sort of sing that tone as quickly as sort of soon as you can. Keep hold of it. In that example, from that tonic from the original the beginning of the extract that was held, if you obviously had to climb up a further 3 notes, so an interval of a fourth, that was a subdominant modulation. I'll give you another example again. Forgive the cacophony spewing from my lips. I'll give an example now, going to the dominant, but with the same principle. Just a bit of food for thought there. That might be one to try. I would try that with some of the exercises that you've got on tape and on the various apps from the Paul Harris book, for example. That might be useful. Okay, now getting on to some examples. What I'll do with each of these ones, I promise I won't sing. I'm going to pick a key, and I'm going to just do a little short improvisation in that key 3 times, and there'll be one of each modulation, so of the dominant, subdominant, and relative, major or minor. I have down here on my crib sheet what they each are, so I shall say at the end of each one what they were, but I'll play all 3 first. So here's the first one. Followed by should probably have said as well, trying to look at my hands, because that might give it away. So those were firstly to the relative minor, then to the subdominant, and then to the dominant. Right, next up, let's go to the key, let's go to D. there we had firstly to the relative minor again, like in the first one, then secondly to the dominant, thirdly to the subdominant. Two more in this fashion. My intention with these as well is that if you're fairly sure what the first two are, of course then by process of elimination you'll know exactly what the third one is. But that's semi-deliberate, because if you're expecting it to be something, you'll then get, and it is, if you've got the first two right, then you'll sort of get that affirmation that it sounds like what you're expecting it to, if that makes sense. It's a really poorly constructed sentence. Okay, let's do the third one. This is going to be set in a minor key. Followed by Okay, so the answers to that one. The first one was a subdominant modulation, followed by a relative major, followed by the dominant. Fourth example, again with all three possibilities. I'll do this in a minor key as well. Followed by lastly. So there we had a modulation to the dominant, followed by a modulation to the relative major, followed by a modulation to the subdominant. Okay, so moving on, I'll do four more now, and I'm just going to do two variants here. So it will be two of the three possible options. Tell me what you think. Let's kick off with one in a minor key. So what am I saying? I'm going to do that. Okay. Variation 2. So there we had firstly a modulation to the subdominant, followed by a modulation to the dominant. Next up, let's go here. relative minor, followed by a modulation to the subdominant. Next one, number 7. What does it say I'll do here? Okay, cool. Followed by that was subdominant, followed by dominant. Last but not least, so there we had the relative, followed by a modulation to the dominant. I hope that was useful. I'd be more than happy to churn out some more of these if they are of use, so please don't hesitate to let me know if that was useful. Any specific examples or sort of practice questions you want me to record like that as well, please don't hesitate to ask. It's always a pleasure. In the meantime, happy practicing and all the best. Bye for now.